I'm hoping the mic is on. Happy Thursday. It's a pretty hot day. I'm here at MacArthur Park. A lot of people out. I don't know really if I'm going to walk through it. The last time I was here, it was a little lighter in traffic. I just don't want to, everybody's really hot and stinky. I do want to go to Bonnie Brae though. So we might hit this up another time. We'll walk around it for sure. But again, it's super hot. And people are kind of at their worst in this heat. And before I pulled my camera out, I already got some creepy looks. So, not here to piss anybody off. I can't see the chat for some reason, but such is life. Maybe I'm in video only mode. Huh. All right. Looks like the sound is working out fine. Hey, thanks so much. Usually Carriopolis lets me know. I wonder where Carrie is. This is a pretty cool building. So MacArthur Park is at the very tip, more or less, of downtown. Awesome. I think everything's a go at the very tip of downtown. This building is pretty cool, although I don't know if it's in use or just barricaded. Super magnificent, have no idea what it is. So when I kind of walked my route today, I walked it actually a little different than we're going to walk it. Yeah, and it's just hot and yucky down here. So let's go left. Let's hope somebody doesn't throw something at me that snaps. I would like them to try me. You know, I'm dying for ICE to try me because, never mind, because they don't know what they're in for. How's it going? So we're on 6th Street. It's kind of another part of downtown-ish area that's kind of been forgotten. So also really super vintage moments. Carrie, hey. Happy Friday. This street, I don't know how you say that, is pretty cool. I'm gonna just try not to film anybody and having a moment. This is the back of the building that we were just at. Looks like some kind of theater. Who's gonna tell me what? My sound isn't working? No, I can see it's working. Oh, really? It's not working? Joe, tell me now. Did I say happy Wednesday or happy Friday? Thanks. The only thing I cared about there was if the sound was working or not. You know me. Hello, Allie. We're not quite in Hollywood yet. We're gonna wiggle over there. I've slightly changed my route of walking because it's a hot day in the park. All right, just when I said vintage and then I kind of gave up for that block, we've got this lovely building. And then this theater over here. We're gonna wiggle down to Wilshire. Not really wiggle so much, but walk and then go back up to 6th. Yeah, I started just try to record the neighborhoods and the places that people don't usually go to before they end up torn down. And like we totally forgot Bunker Hill.
Okay, wow.
So,
are you on YouTube?
Yeah,
What's your
walking in LA. And then, I just try to prove that LA isn't as shitty as people say it is everywhere else, right?
Thank you
Have a
for
good day.
everything you do. Be
Thank
safe,
you.
buddy.
Take care.
Walking in LA.
You should check it out. I'll see ya. It's one of my many purposes, I think. Although they'll never tear this building down. It's a historical monument, just like the Park Wilshire over there. We love Los Angeles too. This must have been like a 5 and dime store. How nice, right? To go get your Colt 45. Was that a beer or a gun? Hope it's not a GUN. I don't think you can say that on YouTube. I'm gonna cross the street, which I didn't plan on because I've never walked over there. And it says walk. So we've walked further up there. Townhouse. Ooh, I really love when the lotuses are in full bloom. Maybe. I definitely am gonna go to Echo Park. Echo Lake Park. I don't know why I call it Echo Park. I've never been to the festival before, but I have been there when they're like just fully in bloom. 1940s alley. Speaking of the 1940s, we were practicing our, we're gonna go to the 1940s at 4 o'clock on Saturday, member stream. It's gonna be tricky. I'll post about the directions because we're playing the game from, and I usually don't play games because we're playing the game from the PlayStation. It has to be private, and I'll post the link or the code like half an hour before we go on, but we're gonna go on at 4. How's it going? How are you? Again, this really cute street. This street also flanks MacArthur Park. A little further down, we're on 7th. Whenever I'm down here, it always kind of reminds me of that movie Car Wash. For some reason, you couldn't see. I almost watched Car Wash last night, but so we started off on Parkview, crossed down on Carondelet, however you say that. My French usually comes out sounding a little Quebecois, but I really tried for real French there. So I'm gonna take a right on the next street and go back up to Wilshire. Just worth stepping out and stepping off the regular block and seeing what's there. Oh, cool, you can see Bullock's Wilshire over there, or the law school. Hey. And then I kind of see something. It's a really awesome I'm gonna walk up this street in a second. I just saw something weird. Almost like a steamship top. Okay, so Coronado. Shady Side. God bless you. Oh no, we're just walking in sort of the Westlake Wilshire area. It's an area that's really not had it's very vintage. So I kind of am psyched because it does remind me of LA Noir, which we're going to be playing on Saturday on the stream. I can't wait. I'm excited. That's crazy because I swear there used to be a gas station down here. Yeah. This is pretty cool. The Coronado Apartments. I wish you guys could see it. There's a lot of sun glare. And then right across the street, this 60s building. Pretty. Fucking. Sorry. I stuck my foot in a ditch. So back to Wilshire. It's affordable housing, that building back there. And we got the Wilshire Royale. Lots of super fancy. Bryson is right over there. Fancy old apartment buildings over here. We didn't really see the front of that building. We were walking alongside the Hayworth. Hey, LA Unknown. I don't think it really works when you push the button. I just pushed the button and it instantly turned. I think it's just a pacifier. And then we got it's not a very, I wonder how much the apartments are here. We should look it up. Wilco. Like, this is not a ritzy neighborhood. And those look like $3,000 or $4,000 condos. You know, I almost did the Glendale Mall last Saturday. I kind of want to do the brand and the Glendale Mall at the same time. This Saturday we're not going to live stream. I mean, I think if I do, I just go out in the morning because doesn't really take much setup. But I don't want to be too tired when we have the opportunity to hang out at 4 o'clock. That's a pretty cool building. We're back up to 6th. Yeah, that's what I would like to do. Go through the Americana and then the mall. I did it at Christmas time, but it's not quite the same. I don't know what Harry Potter nonsense is up this hill, but I'm gonna take a look at it. Oh my gosh, Maggie's Donuts. I used to live near a Maggie's Donuts. But there was no I, it just had 2 E's, and though I always called it McGee's. Otherwise, you never want to go to the mall. Or do you always want to go shopping? I mean, I always want to go shopping when you don't. I wonder if the rooftop apartment is still available at the Aspen. I wouldn't mind. I mean, as long as my legs are burning. Not burning from a sunburn. Hello! Coronado is a street that actually we might be able to walk all the way back to Silver Lake on. So I'm just gonna, there's the Bryson we walk by all the time. I want to get us to that church eventually. Let's just... Okay, I've never in my life heard of, seen, driven up, or walked down Ocean View Avenue. So let's check it out. I think the best thing to see about the protesting right now is SoCal Shorts. I mean, he was there the whole time. I've never heard of him before. There's like one lone protester down there now. Now check out this building right here. It's gonna be a tricky one to get across. I believe this area is called Nob Hill. Hello, full collapse. Welcome, welcome. I just am dying to go up this hill. Goodness. All right. Almost in a choose your own adventure style. I could continue this way. I could continue this way. Let's go this way. Oh my God, I can't not imagine having my window that close to the sidewalk. Actually, I had a window that was right on the sidewalk. Okay, maybe I should not walk under this shenanigans and cross the street, which I will do. I do not want to get a nail stuck in my eye. Wow, it's like a cat. It is Harry Potter nonsense. Right next to some 60s looking motel. I bet that was a motel. Who did that cater to? I'd never watched them before, or maybe I have, and I just don't recognize them from what they used to cover, carry. Did they used to go to the fair? Oof, it's a low grade hill. Us killing me. Yeah, Marie, it's kind of crazy. I feel enraged actually about it. So I really feel like we don't talk politics too much, but I really feel like it's un-American, or what we have written down as being American. We're on Carondelet Street again, so it's un-American, or really un-American. We're really not safe and okay till everybody really is okay, especially in a city like Los Angeles, where a third of the people are immigrants. I was kind of looking at the history of the American government. Again, we don't really talk about politics, of the American government, and how they sort of attack the lowest person on the totem pole. I know that's probably the worst expression. And make them out to be a boogeyman. Hey, Cecilia. Oh, dog in a car all by itself. Kind of makes me nervous. And we got some condos. How are you? Good, you? I'm doing well, thank you. Okay, Park View. You can see all the way to East Hollywood almost. You could almost see the Hollywood sign if that tree wasn't there. You know, I don't see, my favorite thing is, I don't know a lot about the president of Mexico, just so you know, but I kind of love her. My favorite thing is that if you step off the plane with your MAGA stuff, you're going to be deported. And it's not a matter of free speech, really. It's just a matter of that hat has hate for brown people. And you wear that hat from a country to a country where you're trying to kick those people out. It just doesn't work. I think it's really funny because I feel like Parkview goes all the way to my side of town also, but just a little further away. Over there, you can see some of LA's tallest buildings. I think we should cross the street because there's got to be a reason this is called, oh, this is Grandview. We better have a grand view. Oh my God, I don't even want to walk out into the sun because of the heat. Go ahead, sorry. But we are now looking at MacArthur Park, so we're parallel to it. It's right down there. I'm gonna just walk on this upper a little bit, so down below MacArthur Park. Yeah. Again, you can see the beautiful hills. My thing is, I'm looking for Bonnie Brae. Maybe this guy will know where Bonnie Brae is. People are very considerate today, actually. They keep not hitting me with their cars. Not that I'm not looking out. That probably was a really beautiful view. Yeah, he's yelling. I was going to ask him where Bonnie Brae was, but I decided against it. So when the heat is on, People get a little crazy. And I know I don't mean that in a bad way, don't cancel me because I said crazy, but people get a little crazy. There's the Royal Viking Motel. That's Alvarado again. So if we walked up there and walked down Alvarado, we're going to border MacArthur Park. Bonnie Brae is in that direction, so I'm going to head in that direction. It is definitely hotter than yesterday. I really don't want to dwell on this too much. I'm never afraid live streaming and walking around, but before I was live streaming, I was just kind of walking through MacArthur Park, or the side of it, just looking for a place that I might sit and set up. I was getting I didn't take any of my equipment out, but I was getting some pretty horrible side eyes, so I decided, no. All right. Sorry, guys. Ooh, sorry about that. You know what I'm dying for would be like an ice cold Diet Coke. Oh, I know. Sorry, headphone users. I do have the sound mute noise cancellation. Duh. I know that's not a word. I apologize, headphone users. Usually the struggle is that the sound is not loud enough. But thanks, welcome. So if it's your first time here, you have an old like and subscribe or a thumbs up if you're shy. And if you subscribe, definitely like step into the chat room. It's just noise cancellation, I think is what it's called on this microphone. And it doesn't cut the... Whoa, there's some classical music. Can you hear it? It just cuts like music and like wind noise. The music stops when I do. It's probably to keep people away. So around Alvarado, we've actually walked down below the park. I was sort of heading towards Vermont. I'll go back. Actually, I'm not going to go back. I'm going to walk towards downtown instead. I really want to go to Bonnie Brae. I don't want to walk through here, but I once got a pair of socks from that Ross Dress for Less on my way to a wedding. I needed to have red socks. They had red socks. They turned out to be tights. How's it going? I ended up having to cut the... I ended up wearing tights. But not only were they tights, they were like kids' tights, so I had to just cut the top off and wear them as red socks. I don't know why I told you that story. Hey, Miss Wheezy. Whenever I think of Wheezy, I also think of George. Someone's got ice cream. Hey, brother, how are you? Hey, so this is kind of what this neighborhood is all about. Westlake. This is why I love LA. One of the many reasons. I really hate this cordoned off sidewalk shizzle though. Alright, this way. But would you pronounce it the way people in Los Angeles pronounce it? Sepulveda or Sepulveda? It's kind of odd, but when I first moved here and saw Sepulveda, that's what I called it. I grew up East Coast. That's how you pronounced it. It was a last name that a lot of people had. Sepulveda. We're at Westlake. How's it going? Oh my gosh, Bonnie Brae is coming right up. A row of, I guess, pre-World War I apartment buildings, or just after that. I always call them pre-World War I, but I was reminded of the year that started yesterday, and sometimes I think these buildings are actually from the 20s. All right, Bonnie Brae, where are ya? Thank you so much. I always wonder about how they named it Bonnie Brae. Ooh. All right, so Bonnie Brae, super vintage apartments. We'll cross here. Sorry. If we can. And we can. I'm gonna do the unthinkable and stay in the street for a little bit so people, I'm sure, are sensitive right now, understandably. I only want a Diet Coke. TBH, I've never been on this block of Bonnie Brae before. Word up. It's the Cameo Motel. Sorry. I've just never walked over here before. I really apologize for not being 100% on the the walk. We're on 5th Street. You are correct. I just saw Scarlett Johansson drive by. She's just here for the summer. And Rihanna was up in here a couple weeks ago. She's not really a star, but she is playing Smurfette, which comes out... Anybody? Anybody? Come on, July 18th. I love these. I love these little tiny houses. There should be more of these. Looks like the Batmobile was hung up. All right, let's go up this way. We're on Burlington, another one of those streets that reminds me of New England. There's the Shirley. I love it. Hey, Shirley. I'm going to take a left on Maryland. Or I'm going to look up Maryland and see if it's worth taking a left on. Rick, I have to say, this is a pretty cool neighborhood, also a hilltop neighborhood, which kind of makes it nice. I'm surprised it hasn't, you know, been gentrified yet. Still has parking. I'm hoping for a magical surprise at the top. Every time I started walking back to MacArthur Park, I really kind of want to take you guys there, but I kind of get a little stink eye every time I kind of get near it. And again, people are pretty sensitive. I think we'll skip it. Oof. I'm gonna need like a donut cheeseburger. That's a donut cut open, cheeseburger inside. Or a donut ice cream sandwich. We're back on Bonnie Brae here. This is the worst kind of firework, IMO. The scariest for a dog. It's a window rattler. Okay, I'm gonna go to the shady side. I'll just look down. On a clear day, you can see a ways. Probably. Okay. Oh, it's a pretty crankin' view of the city. I mean, there's one building that kind of messes it up, and it's not a nice building, but it does. It also sounds really much nicer than it is. The shady side of Bonnie Brae. I also insist on saying it like that. So, WTF, I'm gonna just come up here. This is the Greer Musser Museum and Gift Shop. What an amazing building. I don't know who Greer is. But I'm gonna look them up. If anybody wants to pull up a page, Greer Messier. This is Cultural Monument number 333. It says it's open Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 4. But COVID done changed everything. I'm sure there's a story there about kind of how they held on to this house while time changes all around it. Oh, there's suddenly a really beautiful breeze. And then it ended, and then it's back. It looks like it should have been moved off of that property and taken over to Heritage Square. It probably would have just burnt down. All right, so that house, cool. That serves up for our Victorian in the description, right? So we saw a Victorian house. We saw some vintage apartment buildings. Filipino Church. Let's see if I can find that. I really want to go to the Winchester Mystery House. I also just want to take a minute. So, are these people letting me go? You're the best. I don't think they are. But how lovely is that? You can't really see. It is really just a beautiful thing to come across, I think. Hey, thank you. You know what's nice about Bonnie Brae? Both sides are shady. We're at 3rd Street. I'm gonna head this way for a little bit. Hey Jay, I don't know if sorry I didn't see you earlier. That's kind of cool when you get like a craftsman stuck in the middle of giant apartment building. Pretty awesome. Huh? Hey. Hi. A little Frida. I think they like undercut her eyebrow though, meaning they didn't do it with its full oomph. Okay, Westlake. I think I might dip down. Oof, dumpster stink. I think I might dip down on Park again so we can, I know I'm literally all over the place today, so we can just, I don't know, we can just something. And yet I might not. Are we in hi-fi? I'm not really sure what that means. We're in sort of Westlake edge now, kind of in Wilshire, I think. No, YouTube. YouTube. This Royal Viking motel, the sign should have been preserved. It was pretty vintage and cool. Another motel that now that I'm looking at it, and it's been redone, that I like kind of fantasized about staying in. Fantasized might be a little strong. No, he asked if I was on TikTok. I'm gonna plug in for a second. Historic Filipino town. That we are. Oh, the Royal Viking Motel. I'm gonna cross. My aim is always to stay out of the way of the scooter, but they inevitably just drive through anyway. Hello, Derek. Happy Thursday. I think this is the street we came here from, Lake. Let's go down one more. All right, people. I'm just a jackass. Sorry. I was trying to go behind the car so I didn't make them lose their chance to cross. Whoa, that's a long night bot. Sorry about that. But hey, I want to take a second to thank all of my members while we're in this shady spot. I think I got everybody. I could have been Baby Janed. No, that would be up against a fence. What was more irritating to me was the person driving through the crosswalk while I was in it with the Mercedes. That looked literally right at me. So there's Griffith Observatory. You can't really see the Hollywood sign, but it's just beyond that. This is Grand View that we came up on. St. Nicholas Cathedral. Kind of old-timey and beautiful. Hollywood Hills. I'm gonna cross the street. I don't think I'm gonna walk down this guy because I feel like, sorry for spinning, I feel like we just came up this street, but somehow we missed St. Nicholas. Grandview, we did. Downtown fading away. Uphill scooters. In 10 more years, when I'm too old to do this, I'm just gonna do this on a lark. Or a scooter. Or by then we'll just have like a snap-on robot body that will be able to walk us around. Over here, across from me, is a tiny house compound. So those are homes for the unhoused, and that's such a brilliant idea. Oh, I just missed a ton of comments. Sorry, broken heart. Charles Cruz. Another chiropractor's office? Oh, I really like the sign. It just didn't seem very chiropractor-y to me. It's Chiropractor Row. I gotta tell you, thank you so much, Derek. I kind of like this walk. I really love that sort of feeling of being slightly lost. But I always know where I am when I get back to Guéron de l'E. So for all of the, I have not driven over here, I have driven over here. I've always found this kind of interesting. It's Mother Trust Supérette Center, Aura class lectures, Bible Aura class lectures. It's an enjoyable feeling being slightly lost, unless I'm running late, then I am. I have never been this close, but this is kind of pretty sweet looking. I've got a little neon Sacred Heart of Jesus in the window. Oh, they've got this whole complex here. You see Supérette light. I hope you can see Jesus. I mean, you can see what you want, but in this instance. Just a quick reminder, you guys, my one and only sponsor, we're going to end pretty soon, the Smurfs. It's coming out on July 18th. It's an adorable romp where Smurfette really steers the pot, as you can only imagine with Rihanna playing her. I think this is going to be a real treat for everybody who goes to see it. I'm joking. I wouldn't have taken that. But the Smurfs have some big Smurf money. Maybe I should rethink that. So yesterday, I try to keep my sneakers really clean. I didn't mention it on camera, but that ice cream cone crushed and squirted chocolate ice cream all over my sneaker. Pretty gross. I didn't notice it till this morning, and now I just want to wash it off. I don't really know of a way to wash sneakers. I mean, you can put them in the washer, but doesn't that mess them up? Hello, Anodyne. Anodyne, yeah, sorry. I can't always see, and I sometimes miss very lovely, important things, or it's the sun. We're on Rampart, which I'm pretty sure we drive on Rampart in LA Noir. I'm gonna take the opportunity to cross this street. Should we walk back towards Wilshire? Should we continue this way? Not really sure. Let's see if it's at all kind of interesting that way. I could use a squirt right now. Maybe a diet squirt. Or a Fresca. I think it was a bad call not going down that street. I think the shade ends up here. It smells like a dumpster a little bit. Hello, Michael. Welcome, welcome. Benton Way is a fun street. This, believe it or not, will take you all the way to the 101. We almost could just walk Benton back, but I think it would be boring. Hey, Nomad. Much like Wilshire, there is another, much like Wilshire, much like MacArthur, there's another smaller park on Lafayette. A little more neighborhoody, but we've walked by it and I always think it's the beginning of Wilshire Park. I mean, MacArthur Park, the heat. I do believe 1 block or 2 blocks up from this, or we may just pass it, is the original Tommy's. I can remember a time when Joseph and I walked to that original Tommy's. We ate at the Taco Bell across the street, but I was like, I can't believe we walked that far. It's really not that far. Hey, Derek. I hope you get a lot of bargains. We were grumbling about grocery shopping earlier today. I'm just getting that, not you. Don't worry. Did you hear that lady laugh? I couldn't tell if that was like shut up laugh or that's how she was really laughing. I'm not sure what the history of Occidental is either, but it's the weirdest street name ever. I'd never heard it before. You know rent is terrible in Los Angeles when they are renting the median as a house for $5,500. That could be yours. 6 bedrooms. I don't even see a bedroom or a bath. We are going to go down Occidental. Meander away, because there's a really cool church down here that we always see just a little in the distance. And now we'll have an awesome chance to walk up and see it in all of its majestic religiousness. I feel like this church has also been in a lot of older movies. Good afternoon. Not the most vintage street, but shady. It's amazing how the blocks just change. I always thought it had something to do with Mormons, to be honest with you. Occidental. Don't ask me why. I can't really make the connection in my head, but I really thought it was something religious, but specifically Mormon. I'm native to not California. I've only been here for 20 years or plus. I'm always mesmerized by plants still. My neighbors I felt like a couple years ago, everybody had these crazy ass flowers binding on their fence. And I'd never seen a flower like this before. It was like an alien's eyeball. Bright blue and spiky and almost like a flower with an eye in the middle of it. They were just passion fruit, I think, flowers. I'd never seen them before. I love crushing juniper berries. I grew up with juniper trees, though, for sure. I love that smell of juniper, though. Well, the street mostly got a makeover, and then there's that house. It's kind of sitting in the middle of 60s, all this kind of crazy stuff. It's nice that they preserve that. I hope someone loves it. It's just like a little teensy weensy piece of what was here left over. I'd imagine that they fought to keep it, or someone fought to keep it. I hope they don't think I'm here to spot them filming, because I really don't care. Unless it's a historical reenactment, then I care. So this is one giant church right here, and its rectory. We're gonna come across the edge, and then there's that one. That just looks like it should be in New York City. Like dueling churches. Whose spire is higher?
When you're gonna bite into it, you're not only
Definitely can't walk into this one. They're filming. I've never also walked up to this one before. I made a candle with juniper oil in it once. It's really lovely. I don't think I've ever eaten anything juniper. I have no idea how I'm gonna cross the street and not unalive, but I'm doing it. I wish I would say, hey, Pope Leo. I'm not Catholic, but I wanted to be when I was a kid. I can't say I like what he's doing. I mean, I think he's definitely giving me good Pope vibes, but I don't know all about the Pope. Like the last one I felt like gave me good Pope vibes. I'm too old to say vibes. Good Pope Try to say that 10 times fast. Good Pope vibes. But you know, some of the stuff, like how I had to stop that swear from coming out of my mouth. Some of the stuff was kind of, he thought was kind of old world. That's a historic building over there. I hope LA Unknown is here. I'm not crossing the street, but I would really love to know what it is. Is it a library? Is it part of this church? So, this to me is just pretty cool looking. When you come around the corner and you get this mirrored building that just mirrors back the First Congregational Church, which is the name of this church over here. Trying to cover up the fact that it's a Los Angeles County Superior Court building. There's no building here, it's just another church. That's some Scooby-Doo ass shit right there, I think. Jinkies. So this church somewhere must have a plaque telling us something fancy about it, because it's definitely an oldie. Just like something from somewhere else. Too bad we can't go in. Although there's some people in the parking. Oh, that's a Target. And across. Hopefully we'll get to see that church. Congregational Square, this is called. It's one of the few times I've seen the sign on more than one corner. First Congregational Church, celebrating 150 years. That was in 2007. This is Cultural Heritage Monument 706. We should see if we'll be able to find that in the game on Saturday. And the townhouse is coming up. This is an old swinging spot from some time ago. You always let the... I don't know what we're doing here. I saw a picture of this place. It had like restaurants on the floor, on the ground floor. I think they're converting it to something. Oh, and this is Lafayette Park, I think, right here. The townhouse. You can see the Bryson over there. And truly, it is a skate park. Here's a guy heading over with a skateboard. We really haven't gone that far from where we started. In fact, we went back. I didn't really get those types of openings in hotels like that. There's just another way for somebody to get pushed out the window. I don't know if we could actually see it, but they're little like open corridor. This is the emergency exit. I'm always surprised. This building is older than it looks. I think it is 20s. The Cape Cod Cafe. Of course you... And something else. I can't remember the... I thought about making t-shirts of the Cape Cod Cafe and the other place over here. I think skaters mostly skate anywhere, but I think skaters... Sorry, hey, go to that park a lot. So, 2 restaurants, ground floor of this building, right? I'm just kind of talking about how old this building is and...
Yeah, it's actually really old. My mom and my stepdad, they actually used to be a manager here.
Really?
Yeah, and so I used to work with them for the maintenance, and one of them is a Howard Hughes suite up in the top.
Right.
Yeah, and not to mention, I believe it's on the 12th floor. I guess there was an altercation, and there was a gunshot, and there's actually a bullet hole that's still left. They never changed out the elevator door.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I saw a picture of this where it still had like 2 ground floor restaurants and a ton of cars, like the Cape Codder restaurant and something else. It's kind of cool.
Are you doing it for a...
I just am on YouTube and I walk around showing people that Los Angeles doesn't suck ass so much. And we talk about history and historical buildings, you know, real history and, you know, but we try to show Los Angeles is a pretty great city.
Tour?
I would love a little tour.
Okay, let me put this in my...
All right, let's get a tour of this building. My name is Charlie.
What was that?
Charlie.
Charlie, my name's Anthony.
All right, Anthony. Awesome. Well, we'll get a little tour of this building. If the thing cuts out, I'm going to leave it running, and then I'll just put up the part that cuts out afterwards. So you guys can look it up. It's the townhouse. Hopefully he doesn't push me out of one of those little balconies. I'm sure he's not going to. So I guess I beat my 2026 where I was going to go into some of these old buildings. I love the fact that he also knows about it. So if the connection breaks, I'm going to keep recording and then I'll post that up later. It's been a week where we've had some kind of crazy firsts. We saw a fire hydrant burst. We're going to get to go into the townhouse. How refurbished is it? Has it been?
Actually, you know what? It's quite refurbished.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just be quiet right now.
For sure. Absolutely.
It's all good. Charlie, you are my friend, and
Sure.
I am Anthony.
All right, Anthony.
So, the owner, he actually had this painted.
That's McLeod Townhouse. That's awesome. That's really cool.
That's what I used to work for. You were curious about how that's the ballroom right there.
Oh, pretty awesome.
They're having a class right now.
I don't want to ever disturb anybody.
Yeah, no.
I usually try to keep to the background because LA tells the story.
I'm gonna take you where the kitchen used to be.
Oh, cool.
This. So, right here was, I believe, where they sent down dishes. And
Oh yeah, the dumbwaiter.
Uh-huh. And they
Look
used
it
to send
in.
up to, it goes all the way up to the 14th floor.
Crazy.
Yeah, and now clearly it's just
a laundry room, but it's nicer than the laundry room in my building, I have to say.
Really? Okay.
One of our dryers never works. The dryers are like from the probably 70s.
Okay.
Speed Queen.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Building, we just have such an issue with how far gone.
Yeah, it was actually my stepdad who did all the refurbishing. My
Yeah?
stepdad, yeah. I just wanted real quick, you could get a glance. The whole downstairs. If you go into these doors right here, that is where the boiler that boils. It's huge boiler, like over. Yeah.
It's crazy what people did before we have what we have to do the things we do now. When you think about when City Hall was built, sure. When City Hall was built, like how
You'll see, like, just from the elevator's perspective, because I don't know which room it was exactly, but on the elevator door, the bullet hole.
Oh.
Okay. Wow. Yeah,
And Charlie Chaplin has something to do with this building also. I feel like I read that. He might have partied here at one point, but
I'm sure they did.
as we discuss the city with people, Charlie Chaplin is everywhere. He's like our George Washington.
Yeah.
He slept here.
So if we stand out, and then that one will close, and
Oh, wow.
this one.
But that's a pretty ritzy elevator door.
The guy, the maintenance guy,
Uh-huh.
who does the keys, he actually was. One more. I'm gonna go up one more. I was gonna go down. Who does the keys?
Uh-huh.
He loves these locks. These locks are 100 years old.
They look great. I can always break into my apartment by pulling the window slats out. I shouldn't say that.
I'm hoping that they didn't change any of the thing, because if they didn't, you're gonna love the view from up on top.
I'm excited. This is a little more modern than The Shining. Somebody just said it, it's giving them Shining vibes. Also, this is not a scary place to be, actually. I don't feel any.
Yeah, no, it won't. No, it is when all these lights start flickering.
Okay, I'm sure. But you know, sometimes you get a vibe for a scary place, and I never got this vibe from this, and now that I'm inside of it, I'm not getting it either.
Yeah, no, I've been in and out of here through all that downstairs in the basement that I was showing you. Yeah, it is completely. Go ahead, grab that door.
Thanks.
It's gonna
Sure.
close. It's gonna slam really hard.
The funny thing,
Going up.
all right. Okay.
You're not scared of heights, are you?
I am totally afraid of heights, so I'm only gonna
man,
go.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I just thought you would really enjoy it.
I do.
I just wanted to show you, like, if you stand out and you just look out, Hollywood, Griffith Observatory. Yeah, go ahead. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. I'm sorry.
They know me.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be
I
sorry.
should have asked you.
How would anybody know? I do have to go back down,
Yeah,
though.
no, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You're the best.
I am so sorry, though.
There's no sorries involved. I don't know when it happened to me, but I just became afraid of heights.
It's completely understandable.
The fun part.
Yeah, it's my mother's, she's terrified of heights now, too.
I used to swing from a rope swing off a garage. I was actually, when we were walking by here, I feel safe here for some reason.
Okay.
I was commenting on these little outlets. Like, what were they for? They're on every floor.
These ones?
Yeah. What is this little path for? It's all the way up and down.
Design. I actually found another. I wanted to search up to see if the architect was related or maybe he did the same work, but I found another building that resembled the exact structure and the framework of it.
They do a lot of that stuff. I noticed, like, the guy that built the Montmartre, the Chateau Marmont, built another building and another building. The guy that built the $1 Million Theatre, even the Cecil Hotel, that guy built a ton of other buildings.
Yeah. So, yeah, but this is.
Thank you so much.
No, not a problem.
I'm grateful that I got an opportunity to come inside this building.
Yeah, it's really cool, and a lot of people don't get to. They always see it from the outside and never, they never really see it from the inside. So they kind of don't know. So it's the same thing like this.
Gotcha. Oh, it's a fire sprinkler. Is it like a fire exit?
No, well, actually,
yeah.
it is.
I see
because
it.
It runs all the way down.
Right. So it must have been the emergency, like a fire escape system. That's pretty cool and thoughtful. I want to take one of those tours of the theaters downtown where they let you go kind of into the back of the shops.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think they do them on Sundays. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Loved driving by here is just seeing the sign. Until recently, I've only been probably approached it and then started looking at the building because it's a classical architecture. Oh, we might have somebody coming on. Oh, come on. Sorry. But I love the fact that they kept it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, my stepdad, they had to remove the I believe it was the EL on the sign because they were flimsy and they were gonna fall off. So yeah, my stepdad, David and Daniel, they ended up.
Thank you.
Oh, one more stop.
Oh.
I'm gonna show you
Excellent.
what used to be the. Oh, we could go out this way. And then just make a left. Oh, matter of fact, cool little trivia. Lucille Ball, they did these for Lucy and Desi. These back cabanas.
I feel like I read something about them having to do with this place too. Or stars that stayed here. Wow.
And this was the Olympic-sized pool for Lucy and Desi that they, because I don't know how many sections of that they had. But I just remember that my stepdad telling me because Rob McLeod was so interested in it. But this is the poor pool now. They filled it up with dirt. I used to have to clean it out.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
The palm tree pool.
Yep.
It is now, has a palm tree growing in it.
Yeah.
Sort of, just kidding. The pools are really hard to maintain. And then these were just like suites. This is part of the hotel?
You know what? Before, I'm not sure exactly what this was, but I helped put this together as a school for, oh God, I can't remember her name, for Liza. And they ended up, afterwards, I guess the school just shut down or they relocated, and it's been just sitting here ever since, just empty.
Cool little spot. It just reminds me of like a almost Howard Johnson's motel compared to this one. Look at what was that room? A grand entrance. Looks like a conservatory.
Well, this one?
Yeah.
This is the entrance to the ballroom.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So when you walk out from the lobby, you walk straight across, go down, and that's the ballroom.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, we could walk through.
I love the details, like these little curved booths.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they actually used to have koi fish in there at one point in time.
They gave up on water, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
I think a lot of Los Angeles is like turned fountains off, I've noticed. And this is part of the hotel too?
Yeah, this is all part of it. This is all part of the townhouse. This is what they call the lanai.
Gosh.
And now it is used for quinceañeras or weddings, and so.
It's a beautiful spot. I feel really honored that you let me come in here today.
Oh, well, thank you. Not a problem. I seen you shooting, and I was like, well, you know what? This would be great content for your viewers.
Well, sure, they always ride me for not going inside of places, but usually I'm not all about breaking and entering. Too old for that. Wow.
Yeah.
Whoops. This is why I'm afraid of heights, because I skip all the time. I'm kidding.
Okay. Yeah, this is just like complete awe when I first walked through here too. I loved it, the architecture, the feeling of it. It's really awesome.
I'm with Anthony. They asked your name,
Oh,
even though
okay.
you said it. Anthony's been filling us in about the building.
Now, that's just the garbage side.
It's
That's
still
the
pretty nice, I gotta
the
say.
The garbage chute or the little alley.
Wow, I can imagine. Wow, I don't want to peep, but that's pretty cool. And is the cultural center still up? Oh, that is what we were just at?
Yeah, this is what they're basically going to be turning it into now.
I love it.
Instead of it being a school, they're turning it into a clinic.
That's great, because we all need a little better health care.
Huh?
We all need a little better health care.
I know.
Wow, you made my day.
Oh, well,
I
I'm
really
glad.
appreciate that. Anthony, look us up on Walking in LA. Leave me a message there.
Walking in LA?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Oh, do I go out this door?
Yeah, you could go
Oh,
straight out this one and
that was amazing. I really appreciate it. I really, really, really do.
walking in LA.
Yeah,
Okay.
walking _ LA.
Okay, awesome.
It's hard to find, but it's on YouTube.
Okay.
All right,
well,
thank you
know
so
what?
much.
Yeah, not a problem. You enjoy the rest of your
You
day.
too.
Enjoy your walk, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you and that.
Okay, have a good one,
You
Charles.
too. Cheers. Hiya. Wow, what an amazing opportunity. I don't know if you guys are still here. All he did was look me in the eyes as I was poking my little camera in there, and that was pretty. I'm really touched. Like, that was, who does that? Who invites someone into their apartment building? Anthony does. He's our star of the day. I'm gonna walk out and let these kids enjoy it. So we were just there at the garbage section. And this is, I guess, the banquet hall part that we were also behind. Awesome. All right. I don't know if I'm ready to move in. They do have a great parking garage, though. I can tell you that. So that must have been a swinging place when Bullock's was open right here. You're staying at the townhouse and then run over to Bullock's. I have to catch up on my YouTube videos, by the way. I saw some walking in Netherlands, walking in LA posted, so I'm gonna go home and watch that. I have to catch up with She Clicks Bricks. She built Garfield. We all hate Mondays, but not as much as Garfield. I love Bullock. So back to the story I started telling and totally forgot. I started watching a story on Bullock's Wilshire and how it was a front for something. And it was a totally AI-generated story, AI-generated text that had total incorrect stuff in it. And it just used old pictures. I promise never to give you guys anything like that. And it was completely incorrect about certain things, so I couldn't trust the overall story. Wally World. I'm ready for a day at Wally World, actually. If I could go to any amusement park in the world, I would probably go to Canopy Lake Park in New Hampshire. That was our childhood amusement park that we went to, if it's still open. Kind of old-fashioned then. Oh, jackfruit. If you really want to, we probably can't do it now, but if you can send it to my email address, I'll do a post up for the jackfruit recipe. I was actually trying to come up with a way, because we talk about dinner so much, it would be fun to try each other's recipes. Wow, we sound like a bunch of grannies. And your best knitting patterns. But seriously, back to the recipes. It'd be fun to find a way to do that. But for now, we could send it to me and I can post it on my posts. Joseph and I have spoken about doing a Discord for this. I just don't know that I fully understand the Discord thing yet. I've never used it. I've joined a couple, but I've never used them. But if that's the way to go, let me know. I'll do a poll later, and if we should start Discord, we'll start looking into that. And I'm pretty sure it's easy. I already signed up for it. I just want to make sure it's not half-assed when it goes up. I'm a little too OCD in that regard. Thank you so much. I was trying to remember the name of jackfruit the other day, actually. So I'm gonna owe us a little Filipino town walk, because I really feel like I got a little meandering up there and then I lost my trail. And I don't think we enjoyed historic Filipino town enough. We're now walking on Wilshire. Obviously we're walking on Wilshire, but I just thought I would say it again. In case you just joined. So Celia, you didn't pick a song. You just liked it. My comment. What's the song that reminds you of your years in Los Angeles? I would so go to Yogurtland right now if somebody were with me and they could hold my gimbal. I almost never get the toppings though. We used to have a Yogurtland in my neighborhood. Joe and I went all the time. With our dog. Until one day somebody told me not to bring the dog in. I told them I needed to. They never asked me not to bring the dog in again. Hey Joe, if you want to go to the email and grab that recipe. I'm happy to put it up. So we are now at Vermont. I need to find a shady spot. I think the best trick here is continue walking up Vermont. Walk up Wilshire and take a right on Western. We'll end up not ending in East Hollywood, but a couple of blocks before that. Who let the dogs out? Huh. Genie 25. So where I what the hell? Where I usually start from, which is 7th Street in downtown whenever I go downtown, or Pershing, but usually 7th Street. That stop is almost at the end of this street. Like if you wanted to go downtown, you could walk on Wilshire. You could take 6th, which we were on earlier. Santa Monica, it turns into Sunset. It's a really roundabout route. It was a gorgeous day for a walk in MacArthur Park. Unfortunately, I went the other way. Did I do it on purpose? Maybe. I did. O by X. You got it. I think you... Let me set that up for you. I clipped it. What a cool song. I actually already know that you are an intellectual and have good taste in music. But I'm always afraid when I ask somebody to pick their favorite song. What if it was like, "Hit Me Baby One More Time"? I would still do it. I think I've just become acclimated to the LA heat, I have to say. And with proper shading, it's not so bad. What's the temperature right now? Let me see, I'm gonna check my watch, of course, which I did not start. The whole way here, it's 84. The whole way here, I'm like, okay, as soon as I get off the subway, I'll start my watch. Yesterday it was 7.3 miles I walked. I looked on my phone. I have a feeling today was, let's see, 139. I'm probably at 5 miles right now. I think it needs like exclamation point. Oh, there we go. And maybe it takes a second. We know it. Cecilia. I think we've sung it before. Or I have, because you guys can't hear anybody's voices. But wouldn't that be a trip? We attract people who have used songs for names in here, I think. We've got a couple. We had Ruby Tuesday yesterday. Just so nice. I really did not want to say goodbye to them. I'm kidding, that's the song. I gotta tell you, that breeze, when it comes, perfect. This is like partially almost the walk that we took yesterday. We are gonna go by Liberty Park, because that's at the bottom of Western. I almost said Fistern. Remember, the only reason we got Liberty Park is because Koreatown people fought for it. That guy is fighting with the traffic officer. Open market. don't take it personally, BD. I also think it's slow to react. Unless you type in all caps, and it'll kick you out faster than the president of Mexico kicks out someone in a MAGA hat. Since we're a little further away, we can just take a peek at the Gaylord. If I could be somewhere else other than like with you guys, which is first choice, I would want to be probably on the beach. One of the very few places where you can still get grog. I prefer lake sailing, though, to ocean sailing. The bottom of the ocean is, no, it just boggles my mind. I wonder what's better. So I've been to both. 85-degree Celsius, this place, bakery and cafe, and then to Paris, baguette, right? They're kind of the same. But the one thing I'll never go to is the Brown Derby. I'm gonna get yelled at by security, but I'm gonna give it a shot. There it is. You always wanted to see, not the original, but the Brown Derby hat. I've actually never been this close to it. Kind of cool. Also, I wouldn't want to live downtown because of the concrete and dogs. I feel like our neighborhood has a park in it that I can go to, and I can walk to a grocery store. It's another thing about downtown is like 2 grocery stores, maybe 3. And I do love city living. I don't mind carrying stuff, but whenever I go to the grocery store, except for the one near my house where I do like one-day shopping, I always end up with more than I thought I was going to get. And so whenever I walk to the grocery store, it's kind of regretful because the bags are so heavy that my arms shake for like 15 minutes after. I really need to lift weights. I would live in Chinatown, kind of. I don't know that I would live in Silver Lake, but Echo Park. I've already lived in Silver Lake. I really like Hollywood, though, like East Hollywood, regular Hollywood. West Hollywood's a little bad parking situation again, but I like living in the city, or my version of the city. I think only when I was in my early 20s could I have lived in downtown LA or like downtown Boston. I think my loft days are over. Yeah, well, if I could have a whole brownstone to myself, or I could live like in Carrie's apartment or the apartment from Will and Grace or Friends, one of those fictional apartments that I wouldn't mind. Actually, New York City I probably wouldn't have a problem with. But Boston, eh. And we are in Koreatown. Well, almost in Koreatown. I really just feel like I could live in like a big studio or a bachelor. I just need like a different place to cook. That's one thing. I don't know where I was going with that. We're now in Koreatown. That noise kind of took it right out of my brain. I think part of what we do every time is just go to your old apartment, Cecilia, from now on. I lived in the Back Bay, but that's not really like downtown LA. You know, I lived in the south end of Boston also, which is similar to the Back Bay, but at that time maybe a little tiny bit less gentrified. Like you would still go into some of those brownstones and they would have gas lamp fixtures in them, especially on Mass Ave. I love big homes too. I don't know that I would be super happy living in a small spot, but I would like to think that I would be, because at the end of it all, like when we shuffle off this mortal coil, we just leave our body in a pile of shit that we've collected over the years for somebody to clean up. So I think that having a smaller place, kind of, although you wouldn't know it looking in my closets, having a smaller place, being more streamlined, is kind of the direction I want to go for my next half of my life, or 3/4 of my life, or a quarter of my life, however long it lasts. I do love a big house. I did grow up in a big house that once had gas lighting in it. Not a brownstone. Not that big. Here we are at St. Basil. Okay, 7001 North Remerson. We went yesterday. It's a really beautiful building, a really cool old-timey building with a beautiful courtyard, cool windows. A little bit looks like ghosts would live there, as most of the buildings of that age do. My states. Mine should be too, actually. I hope you can hear this. I'll block it out later. Oh, they changed it. I would say that it was at about an hour and 30 minutes yesterday. So I didn't mean to come here again today, or this part of Wilshire Boulevard. I didn't mean to walk by 2 ice cream stores on an 85-degree day. I didn't mean to skip most of Filipino town, or the historic monument of the Filipino Church that is in a Craftsman. Somehow I did. But that saves us something for another day. Look at that fancy Waymo. Wow, I was right. Or just about right. It looks like some flappers would have lived there, swilling gin and smoking cigarettes. So I had a nice piece of mozzarella cheese before I left, kind of to curb my hunger on the walk. I know that sounds like nothing, but this Subway smells so delicious. It's not $5 footlong day or whatever that is. What was that day? Tuesday. They don't have that anymore. Like $15 footlong. They're usually 30. So just to recap yesterday for fun, Liberty Park, the only green park space in Koreatown. And they had to fight for it. I just think this building is super groovy. Oh my gosh, please. Thank you, BD. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we just love that. Really. Helps us out. Small channel. I don't mean it in any kind of Sally Field way, but it shows that you really, really like us. Or maybe you just like us a little. It would be cooler if these fountains were going on, but it would be a total 80s moment. I forgot what was here before, something pretty spectacular. I feel like this will tell us what was here before. We're gonna be really sad. I mean, Sumi is right here. Look at that. I'm sure it's their corporate headquarters. Oh yeah. The Wilshire Colonnade. This is what we're missing. I don't know how well you can see it. It's kind of like the place where we got fried chicken. We kind of walked by that yesterday. I thought that lady was parking crazy for 1 second. I didn't realize it was that kind of parking. I one time saw Britney Spears park like that in a parallel parking spot. Also in a crosswalk. I could go for some chicken. I am starving now, I gotta say. I mean, I don't mean I'm starving. No, I'm only in the mood for Diet Coke. What I've realized is when I get a Diet Coke, the first couple seconds, the first couple sips are just fantastically refreshing, eh? And I don't know why I'm saying that. They're just really refreshing. And then, Paris baguette. And then once it decreases in temperature, like, it's not good anymore. And then, if I do get the opportunity to drink the whole can while it's still ice cold, I only like cans of soda, by the way, or fountain. I feel bloated afterwards. True story. Interesting? No. But a fun fact. We are going to cross the street up here. We are actually almost back on 6th Street. They really need more bus shelters. That's just not going to cut it. HMOT. I really should have walked on that side of the street. I think any like soda, we drink sparkling water all the time. It has a similar gaseous kind of effect, but I feel like soda really just makes me feel, I don't know if you heard that noise, but bloated. Zum Beispiel. I could feel totally sassy, my stomach would feel really flat with Diet Coke, and then I feel like bloated. I did. I'm really sweating at this point. Not more horribly than I am. I am gonna start wearing a kerchief around my neck. I think not a kerchief, but like a bandana thing. I really feel like that would be absorb the sweat, would maybe keep my neck from turning red. I love the Ben & Jerry's non-dairy. I feel like it's just a pinch sweeter than I want it to be, but I think it's the best non-dairy ice cream made with sunflower butter, right? I love sunflower butter. There's Boom Sum, which is really called Boom San. Yeah, you know, like a little Frenchy kerchief bandana around my neck. Just to absorb some sweat. It's going to be a little cooler here next week. Tomorrow is going to be probably maybe close to 90. Next week it drops down to more mild temperatures. There's somebody, Kit, who keeps asking me to go to Sherman Oaks. I couldn't really walk around if it were 15 degrees hotter and feel fantastic, but I will go there. Also Huntington Gardens, I know that's something that we've talked about for a while, Catalina, in the future. And last but not least, the canals in Long Beach. That flower, I just smelt a bunch of flowers like, hey, how are you? So we're getting up to 5th. We're almost back to 6th. We've walked over 6th or up to 6th a bunch of times today. A beret. I think maybe it's not so Frenchy. I'm thinking maybe like a gondolier guy. I need like a striped shirt and that little neck kerchief to soak up the sweat. I hate to say it because I usually diss shakes, but I think a shake would be really great right now. Again, I would feel bloated afterwards, so. Hey, Raul. Waymo. I feel bad for Uber drivers. I feel like people are really gonna like start trying to take more Waymos because it's kind of novel. Rocco, that's me. My thoughts on the nice cold milkshake though. I feel like it would need to be like where I wasn't walking after that. There's nothing worse than walking WWB. Walking while bloated. You know what I will do? We got 2 ice cream stops up ahead. There's the gelato place. Don't think I'll go there today because the gelato cup, spoon, I only have 1 arm. I mean, I have 2, but I think we'll go to our old soft serve spot. Don't get mad, Joey. I would want a milk tea. It's one of my favies of the boba teas. But to be honest, I was pretty sweaty when I went to get the ice cream yesterday, and it really brings your whole temperature down. This is exactly the spot where I dropped the chocolate ice cream on my sneaker yesterday. Hopefully I can get it out. I feel like nobody takes a cab anymore. Almost never see the yellow cabs. And then when I see a cab, it's usually a cab. It also has an Uber and a Lyft sticker in it. So like the cabbies are doing everything. It's a real industry that was wiped out. Cab drivers. Love them or hate them. I also love Thai iced tea. My hope today, actually, was I wanted to get a Filipino iced coffee, which is called, anybody? Anybody? So the best thing I ever discovered by going back to Thai iced coffee, when they first developed or came out with a Frappuccino, I know I had the internet. I know it was the 90s. I somehow endeavored to come up with my own recipe, and it was using sweetened condensed milk, coffee, freezing it, then putting it into the blender, and it made almost an identical, I think it was a culotta, which was the Dunkin' Donuts version, the culotta I was trying to make. It was really good. I love sweetened condensed milk. That's a memory. A yellow cab in New York City. That's Arthur 3 right there. Oh, we missed the cross light. There's Fredo. I'm gonna go and look at Fredo online, and then maybe we'll go. I feel like 10 years ago or so, I read a story in the New Yorker about this cab driver who had taken a loan out to get the medallion, and because of Uber and Lyft and whatever else, like, he was just not making enough money to pay for the medallion. Taxi cab medallions are pretty expensive. I feel like it was $48,000. I bought a bootleg DVD once outside of in Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, outside of a Dunkin' Donuts, funnily enough. I lived about 2 blocks from a Dunkin' Donuts and the supermarket, Stop and Shop, on the Orange Line in Boston, my last couple years there, and in JP. And I used to go to Dunkin' Donuts whenever I had a day off, and I would get a bagel and a coffee. But outside of that Dunkin' Donuts one day, they were selling bootleg CDs, and I had friends who bought them, and maybe it was a VHS. I think it was a DVD, sorry. I had friends who totally bought them all the time, and I was like, oh my gosh, The Matrix. I bought The Matrix. I took it home and I watched it. The fidelity wasn't quite right. Everybody looked super white, like, they are all pale in that movie, but they're super pale, like white. It looked purposeful, and everybody's lips were so red. I was like, they look like mimes. But I thought that was the way the movie was supposed to look until the first time I saw the real movie. The Matrix did a really, well, they just released a newer Matrix a couple years ago. I think it was a little bit of a dud, but they released a video game that I played, and I kind of loved it. Was it like Home Improvement? What was the deal with the Matrix game? It was just a promo for the movie, right? I think that's a if you know, you know one. I feel like it was a sample game. Did they make like a whole game of that? Such fun. Ooh, something got a little, getting a little loved. I bet that's heavy to move. Did you hear that guy scream? I hope so. It was fun. I think I'm not really, but I feel like heat delirious. Have we walked this same block 5 times? We have not. Hey Joe, don't get mad, but I think I'm gonna go to Ora Ora unless they're on break. I just need a cool down. That's maybe not a drink or carbonated. Hey, she clicks bricks. I'm gonna be watching talking about your Garfield video earlier. I kind of need to watch that today. Catch up on my YouTube. Welcome. All right. If this is not open, free sample, store hours. Whoa, I guess they're closed for break, 6 to 6:30. They'll be back at 3. Oh, they'll not be back at all. They've got a freezer problem. Awesome, we can meet up. I'm not getting an ice cream. Oh, it happens. It definitely happens. I do. I might go into like a 7-Eleven a couple blocks up. I'm down to 10% battery. I think that might be due to the heat. You know, it does take, and I'm running the air conditioner on my gimbal, so my hand isn't so sweaty. So before it cuts me off, I probably should say goodbye, and I will get a drink. Maybe a 7-Eleven Slurpee. It's a couple blocks up. I just hate when the battery dies and it cuts off. Thank you guys for walking with me today. I know we got a little diverted but we will go to Filipino town, a historic Filipino town. I think it's an important little section that we see in Los Angeles as we like to celebrate the whole city. I want to take a second, really, to thank my members. This is really long, which is a good thing, so I'll be here for a couple of more seconds. Don't forget, Saturday, 4 p.m. California time. We're going to be going back to the 1940s. I will post how you get to it. Tricky. Basically, we can't do it as a members link. We have to do it private, and so I'm going to post up the link like 15 minutes or 20 minutes before, so you guys can go to it that way in the members link. But it'll be fun. We'll write directions tonight, something simple. Thanks, Bethy. I feel like I haven't seen you for a while, Bethy. Welcome back. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy something cold. Again, I'm going to go home and watch She Clicks Bricks, build Garfield, and I know that Walking in the Netherlands posted while I was asleep, so I want to definitely check that out. If any of you guys are streamers, let me know. I'm happy to subscribe and watch your stuff too, because I love watching YouTube, as you know. It's almost all I watch. Anyway, have a wonderful evening. I'll be live streaming tomorrow, probably a little earlier. Don't know where we're going yet or what we're doing, but I got a couple ideas. Have an awesome night. Take care.